Before we start, I want you to do something uncomfortable. Think of one decision you made years ago that still quietly affects your life today. Not a dramatic mistake, not something obvious, something small, something you barely noticed at the time, because those are the ones that shape everything. Welcome to Wisdom Without Noise, where we talk about the truths people usually learn too late. And today, I'm going to share 10 quiet mistakes that slowly ruin perfectly good lives. No drama, no chaos, just slow, invisible damage. If you're honest with yourself, at least 3 of these will hit close to home. Let's begin. Treating your body like consequences are optional. When you're young, your body feels silent, forgiving, flexible. So you assume nothing is happening. But your body doesn't send reminders. It keeps records: skipped sleep, processed food, no movement, constant stress. You don't notice the cost until one day the bill arrives all at once. And by then, negotiation is over. Your future health is being built quietly. Today. If that one already made you uncomfortable, stay with me. They get more personal from here. Choosing silence instead of honest conversations. Most broken relationships didn't explode. They faded. One avoided conversation, one swallowed frustration, one not worth the drama moment after another. And years later, you're strangers. Not because the problem was big, but because pride was bigger. The truth? Most conflicts could be reduced to a 10-minute honest conversation, but people choose distance because honesty feels risky. Silence is easier until time makes it permanent. Competing in races that don't even matter to you. Someone buys something, achieves something, becomes something, and suddenly you feel behind. Behind what? A life you never even wanted. People exhaust themselves chasing symbols of success that have nothing to do with their actual happiness. Comparison doesn't motivate most people. It drains them. Because you're measuring your real life against someone else's highlight reel. There is no finish line, only pressure you invented, waiting for the right time to live your life. People delay meaningful things for years, learning something new, starting something creative, making a change. They tell themselves, when life settles down, life does not settle down. It just changes shape. New responsibilities replace old ones. New problems fill every empty space. The perfect moment is not coming. And the longer you wait, the smaller your world quietly becomes. Ask yourself, what have you been postponing that actually matters to you? Keep that answer in mind. We're not done. Clinging to who you used to be, past achievements feel safe. They prove you mattered once, but living in old victories slowly replaces growth with nostalgia. And nostalgia is comfortable, but motionless. Your past is supposed to be a reference point, not your identity. If your best story happened decades ago, you stopped evolving somewhere along the way, building your life around people who disappear in hard times. Some people are great when life is easy. They celebrate, they laugh, they show up for good moments. But when things fall apart, they vanish, not because they're evil, because discomfort makes them disappear. And if your entire circle is built on convenience, your support system collapses exactly when you need it most. Real connection reveals itself under pressure. Everything else is just proximity, carrying resentment like it's justice. Resentment feels powerful. It feels justified, protective, even righteous. But resentment is emotional self-poisoning disguised as strength. The person who hurt you may never think about what happened again. Meanwhile, you relive it for years. You don't have to forgive everything. But holding anger forever doesn't punish them. It reduces your quality of life daily. Turning every disagreement into something you must win. Winning arguments feels satisfying. Being right feels important. But relationships don't run on logic alone. They run on trust, safety, and respect. You can win the argument and still damage the connection. And sometimes, what people need most is not correction, but acceptance. Not every hill deserves a battle. Most don't even deserve your energy. If you've made it this far, you're already more self-aware than most people. But the next two mistakes are the ones that steal entire decades. Mistaking busyness for meaning. People worship being busy, long hours, constant motion, no rest. It looks productive. It feels responsible. But activity is not the same as progress. Many people fill their lives with motion to avoid asking uncomfortable questions like, does any of this actually matter? Speed without direction is just exhaustion, postponing gratitude until life is better. This is the quietest mistake, and the most common. People spend their whole lives waiting. When I earn more, when things calm down, when responsibilities ease, when the future finally arrives. But life isn't something that starts later. It's happening while you wait. Ordinary moments, quiet evenings, simple meals, uneventful days. That's not filler. That's the actual substance of living. And most people only realize that when those moments are gone. I don't share these because I have life perfectly figured out. I share them because these mistakes are subtle, predictable, and incredibly common. If even one of these made you pause, don't ignore that feeling. Change doesn't happen through dramatic reinvention. It happens through small corrections made early. One conversation, one decision, one honest moment with yourself. That's how lives quietly improve. If you value clarity over noise and honesty over comfort, subscribe to Wisdom Without Noise, because the lessons that matter most are usually the ones nobody says out loud. I'll see you in the next video.